bed since last night. They put a sheet over this dude, left him in the bed. Nigga been like that since before camp.
Somebody will die in American prison every single year. Whoa, what's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Sock, checking back in with another prison story. All right, y'all, I got a harsh one coming for y'all. Not gonna show the body, but this is a crazy story because this happens every single year in prison. Somebody will be found dead in their cell, and it will be an inmate that's trying to cover it up. For the most part, we're gonna keep this video clean, no dead bodies. I'll show you we're gonna talk a little bit about what's going on here in the prison system nowadays. If you're new to my channel, shout out. I appreciate you for pulling up, man. I share my past experiences from prison, and I try to just tell these stories to either stop somebody from going down that road or to give them a little advice, you know, whichever way or whatever status you at in life, man. If you don't deal with the justice system, I tip my hat to you. But if you got in a little trouble and you might have to deal with them and go down that road, I try to offer a little information to help you get past, you know, or get through your time. And shout out to everybody that got family down there, stuff like that. Anybody who watch my videos, you can always offer them advice if they new in the county, don't know what to expect. You see a video, give them a little advice, man. Stay away from gang banging, stay away from gambling, stay away from trouble. But let's get into the video at hand now, y'all. All right, so way back, maybe about 3 years ago, I told a story about an inmate that was killed over commissary, and they found him dead in the cell. If you want to go look back, the story I believe was about DJ. I changed the name, of course, but you can go back and look at that story, inmate killed. So what we got here coming now is just another example, y'all. I want to show people what happens on a regular in the side of an institution or inside of a prison. See, you ain't gonna wake up in the world. This is us in the world. You ain't gonna wake up in the world and read the newspaper of 6 inmates stabbed 2 inmates to death. You ain't gonna read the newspaper and hear about shit like that. Most things that are done inside of an institution are kept quiet. For the simple fact, you got lawsuits, you got all kinds of stuff that can happen from somebody dying in an institution. Now, before I get started into this story, I want y'all to imagine, anybody out there, you know, if you don't have no family or nothing that ever been in trouble, or if you've never been in trouble yourself, you probably wouldn't understand or couldn't relate. But if you do, I want you to imagine a family member that maybe was out here, you know, partying one night, end up getting a public intoxication or something, or a DWI, something small, or you had a family member that was strung out on cocaine or something. They got caught with a gram of cocaine, which is, you know, under 4 grams. It's a felony in Texas, but it was for personal use. Basically, they got a problem. Anyways, they go down to the penitentiary due to the justice system. They get their time, and they got a 2-year sentence. Imagine this, your 2-year sentence. This guy 18 years old, man, fresh out of high school, just had a trouble, whatever, you know, with drugs. He go down to the institution. Now he in here, aggravated murder, aggravated robbery. 2-year sentence, got in the cell with a guy with a life sentence. It don't add up. That's the first thing I want to mention about the justice system in Texas or in America, period. You can't do that, man. You can't put a guy with a 1-year sentence, 2-year sentence with a guy that's never going home. It don't even matter. This guy has something to go home to. This guy, he's never going home. This guy has something to lose. This guy has nothing to lose. Everything around him evolves around the institution. But anyway, we're gonna go into the story, man. So that's kind of give you an idea of how stuff happens in prison. But I want to talk about this because this happens all the time, man. I'm not sure what happened in this video, but you're going to hear the guy say, everybody's on lockdown. Somebody just got killed. So I was watching the video. I seen it from the jump. So the first thing you see in the video is them the inmates carrying a dead body out of the cell. How does that happen? A lot of people are like, how does that happen? How do you end up killing somebody? How can you kill a whole person and nobody hears the person dying? Nothing. That's the way it is, man. When you in that cell, there's nothing that can open that cell door besides an officer or a key or something. You cannot get out that cell. When you in that 2-man cell, that person that you in the cell with, you either got to try to be, you know, best friends, like brothers, because if y'all are enemies, you'll never, ever survive. You'll never, ever make it. I've seen so many instances where 2 people got into it in the cell. They'll get into it. They'll fight till death right then and there. You got some guys that are smart, you know, a little smaller. They be like, well, I know I can't beat them up, you know, straight up. So they'll wait till their cellmate go to sleep, stab him to death as soon as he go to sleep. Just imagine you sleep in your bed and all of a sudden you just wake up and it's a knife in your throat. That's the first thing that wake you up is a something going in your throat. He already got the first jug or whatever. That's what they call it, the first lick. And if that first lick deadly enough, it puncture anything, you have no more. He already got it made up in his mind. After he stabbed you once, he know he got to keep going because it's life or death now. You take that knife from him, I'm pretty sure you gonna handle your business and take him out. And that's the way the institution works, man. So they dragging a body out. They carrying a body out, and it's the next day. The guards are supposed to do a check all throughout the night. They're supposed to do a physical body count all throughout the night. It's like certain times where they have to physically count your body, like make sure a body is present. Then they have a regular count where they just go count cells or something. You got two different counts on a unit. One is a physical count. We account for every single body, and then you have a special count where they lock everything down. You feel me? Lock everything down because it ain't adding up. But that's what kind of counts they do on the prison. And they do these counts every single 3, 4, 5 hours, man. I mean, through a 24-hour period, they might do 8 counts. So 8 divided by 24, that's 4 hours. Every 4 hours, they might do a count in the institution. And I'm just speaking for Texas. So you wonder, how the fuck did somebody end up dead or be dead for a whole 24 hours in their cell? I'm just gonna tell you how. When two people get into it and they get that serious and they kill their other cellmate and they don't want to get caught, you know, they try to cover it up. Usually they'll kill the cellmate. They'll take all the sheets or whatever's bloody, they'll clean the cell, and then they'll take a clean sheet and lay it over that individual or whatever and act like he's asleep. So that person might be on the bottom bunk, and when the guard come through, they look in the cell for count, oh, such and such, Timothy, that's him. Then they look down there, look out, John, and John don't say nothing. John might just be asleep or whatever. Look out, John. And they supposed to make John say something, but they don't. You know, after so long, you get a lot of inmates that be asleep, never respond. So every guard ain't finna open every single cell and go. They're supposed to get a physical response from every inmate. But after so long of comfortness, every guard ain't finna just be going in the cell checking to make sure they're alive. And that's how they'll skip over a dead body. It takes a guard. Usually the dead bodies get found by the inmates, but if the guard finds it, it's a righteous guard. It's a guard that's doing this job right. Most guards, they just there to get their check and keep it moving, you know? So they'll walk past. Remember, they got to count 1,000 motherfuckers. We're on a 4,000, 5,000 man unit. So your job might be count 200 of us. So if you got 200 people to make sure you shake and wake up, they lazy. They're not going to be doing that. And that's how a person ends up dead 2-3 days without nobody noticing. And of course, they go back and do all their history and find out, well, this guard did a check at this guard did. And of course, they go back and get in trouble. But at that time, if they would have did their job right, that person might not been dead. That person probably could have just been real wounded bad, you know, and that's happened a lot too, man. Not necessarily the person always dead. I've seen guys, the most common thing of death in prison is a guy getting choked out. Just imagine, like, I don't know, it happens all the time. In the middle of the night, you can hear, or you'll see people getting into it in the middle of the night. You'll hear a bunch of racket, boom, 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 boom. They fighting this and that. This is a normal thing that happens in prison. The next day you wake up, everybody coming out the cell, you know, oh man, I heard y'all rumbling. You'll see 2 guys in there in the cell. They fight, they differences, they beat up, or whoever lost beat up. The other person might have a good scratch, or it could be evenly matched. It could have been a good fight. Whatever the case is, they both come out, you know, everything usually be good. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say majority of people die in the cell fighting one-on-one. That's not the case. But occasionally it does. It happens once a year. Every single year, somebody gonna get killed in their cell. And the guy might try to cover it up, or he might not try to cover it up. And that's just the harsh reality of prisons. The next question might be, how come nobody heard them screaming? How come nobody heard them yelling? You know, usually when somebody about to die, or on their deathbed, are screaming for their life or whatever, at the end, that probably happened. I'm gonna tell you, that probably happened. But as you can see in the video, they had to grab the guy and take him out the next day. So this is probably what happened. I'm gonna guess. I'm going out on a limb here. I don't know exactly. But for them to discover the body, the inmates, and to carry him out the next morning, that means everybody was locked down when this shit happened. And the next morning, the doors opened at a certain time, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm pretty sure whatever happened, it happened in the middle of the night. I'm pretty sure it was some rackets, some rumbling. But usually when shit happens in the penitentiary, like a fight, or you get into it with your cellie or something like that, if you ain't screaming for somebody to help you or somebody to call the laws and this and that, then everybody pretty much gonna let the shit rock out. Even if you do go to screaming, somebody get the law, somebody help, this and that, it don't work like that in prison. You gonna have 20 different cells, everybody ear to the cell listening to what's going on, but nobody finna call for help. They want you to stand on whatever it is you gotta stand on in that cell. Now the next morning, you might get help if you make it to the next morning, you know? But that's why you have guards that come through. That's why you're supposed to have correctional officers that come through in the middle of the night, because there's a lockdown time. 10 o'clock, 10:30 is lockdown time. No movement unless you have a job or whatever, unless you're working after hours. So pretty much the whole unit is locked down. Your only safety mechanism from lockdown till they open them doors is that guard doing them prison checks like they supposed to. And if that guard doesn't do them prison checks and do that walkthrough like they supposed to, your life is in jeopardy, man. And the reason I'm speaking on this video, it's a lot of guys that go down there and, you know, they can't fend for themselves, man. You have people that straight off the street, you know, they did drugs their whole life, didn't really eat much, and they'll hit the penitentiary. They won't have no drugs or anything like that, but their body's still suffering from malnutrition or body's still suffering from being weak. So you'll see a guy, you know, he's real skinny or whatever, you know, but he's still looking healthy or whatever, but he can't be healthy due to the way he was living out there on the world. Just imagine a junkie or somebody that was strung out on heroin or something, and now, you know, skinny white guy or something, and now he in the penitentiary with life sentence. Bubba been working out his whole Bubba been working out his whole life. He ain't had no drug problem. His problem was killing motherfuckers. That's what he like to do. He like to shoot people and rob people. And when he got to the institution, all he did was work out. Now Bubba meet this little scrawny guy named Jake, and Jake gets smart with him a couple of times or whatever. You know, they in the same cell. And that's usually how the shit happen, man. Motherfucker lose they cool or something. And usually the motherfuckers that kill inside of a prison or institution that kill other inmates is motherfuckers that there's nothing they can really do to them. If you kill an inmate inside of an institution, all they can really do to you is give you another life sentence. That's 9 times out of 10, that's what you're gonna get, another life sentence. Occasionally, it's the death penalty. If you kill any officer, correctional officer, mandatory, you're looking at capital murder, the death penalty. But they don't look at inmates and officers in the same light. You feel me? He killed another inmate. Even if that inmate was prominent in the world, first time ever getting in trouble, had to come down and do a 2-year bid or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Never been in trouble a day in his life. Once that guy dies, you might have an outcry from the family, from the world, and I mean, you might have an outcry from the family, and the family might be trying to get senators and everybody else, but guess what? The politicians, the people in senators, they don't care about no inmate. They don't care about nobody that broke the law. All they know is you broke the law, you got put in the box with everybody else, you didn't survive, and that's it, and that's all. We're gonna keep pushing on with our life. That's probably one of the biggest things about our justice system that needs to be changed. They should make a unit, you know, for straight lifers, a whole unit. Now, they do have a certain seg or certain pod. Like when I was on Cofield, it was Z-Wing. All people with 60, 50 years and up, they went over here to this whole building. And I think that was the most structurized prison I've seen in the institution. But when I shot everywhere else, it didn't matter. Shit. Especially when you get in trouble. When you get in trouble in prison, shit, it don't matter. Now you can have 2 days left. If you get in trouble in prison, your ass finna go back here to Seg where the motherfucking pit bulls is. That's all you hear. As soon as you walking in, all you hear is a bunch of barking. That's what it sounds like. That's like a analogy or whatever. But all you hear when you walk in Seg is a bunch of killers behind doors screaming, motherfuckers arguing, motherfuckers. All they is angry. angry, mad at the world, mad they can't go home, mad they got life sentences. They want to take out the laws. They want to touch whatever I can get my hands on. That's where I want to take my frustration out. And that's why most of these guys are single cell back here, locked up by themselves, because they cannot function with other inmates or other people. This is not general population. These are motherfuckers that are mentally fucked up and mad at the world, angry, either want somebody to kill them or they want to kill somebody. You know, they just threw a life. That's it. And that's the most dangerous motherfucker you can deal with. Imagine, and you beefing with this motherfucker, but you know this nigga suicidal. You probably gonna fall back. You know, if this nigga will blow himself up, his family up, and motherfucking his whole goddamn community, what you think he'll do to you? You better slide back, man. You better slide back. That's basically how SEG is. Once you get locked up or get in trouble in an institution, you're going back here with the pit bulls. And only the strong survive, man. Should it be like that? No. You know? Even if you do get in trouble, when I say you get in trouble, you might get into an altercation on the unit, a little old fight, and they lock you up and say, now you back here with killers. You back here with a motherfucker that done stabbed a guard in the eye. You back here with a motherfucker that done pretty much tried to kill a guard type shit, you know? All I did was have a fight, or all I did was kept stealing from the unit. You know, you'll go to say if you keep stealing, like, boom, one offense of stealing like some cookies or something, or one offense of stealing some noodles, or one offense of stealing some coffee or something from Chow Hall, anything, that's just one offense. You get 2 or 3, your ass might get locked, sent to G5 or medium custody. And that's just to teach you a lesson. Like, all right, you want to keep stealing? We're going to send you back here. And sending you back there don't teach you a lesson. Sending you back there make you come out even harder. That's it. People are like, oh, prison do not rehabilitate you, man. Any person that watched my videos, look at your family member that went in before and look at them now afterward. And this is anybody that's done 2 years or plus, you know, maybe 6 months. Yeah, you come in and you can get out the same person. But if you do 2-3 years plus, it's mandatory. And if you go to prison, mandatory. 2 things you're going to see. You're going to see blood for sure. And you're going to see some kind of altercation. Either somebody die or you're going to see a fight. Mandatory. And if you've never witnessed this a day in your life, how does that rehabilitate you? Like, you coming in, you was on the street, strung out on drugs, whatever. But you ain't never seen nobody get their ass, like, head busted open. You ain't seen nobody get their neck cut. You ain't never seen nobody get stabbed in the neck, stabbed in the heart. You ain't never seen a man on the ground breathing like a fish, shaking, and blood coming out of his mouth because he's trying to breathe because his lungs punctured by a knife. If you've never seen this in your life, this will change you forever. The first time you see it, you kind of like, oh, man. Damn, man, I feel for that guy. I want to help him. Second time you see it, like, dang, what do you do, man? You know, I feel for him, but hey. Third time you see it, you're like, oh, such and such. Oh, damn, he died. 4th time, 5th time, it's just normal. Oh, damn, what's that guy stabbed the other day? Damn, I wonder what he did. It's like a laughing matter now. So you see how that happened? First time I seen it, I was shocked. I never seen this before, even in the world. Second time, 3rd time, 4th time, now I'm getting immune to it. So after I see this my whole time in prison, I get out after doing 19-year bid. When I come to the world, seeing a man get shot in the head or a man stabbed, right, it's nothing, because that's all I went through for the last 8-9 years is blood, gore, and just imagine, I was just a little fish. I had a little 6 months to 2 years. I had 2 years. Something that's supposed to freak me out. Every time I see it, a man getting his head busted or a man getting stabbed, it's supposed to, like, damn, it's supposed to freak you out. Now it's just like normal. I just see it. I walk past on the street and see a man getting, that's fucking up society, man. Your mindset is not the same as how it was when you left. Your mindset is not the same as society. Society, we don't see this every day, you feel me? Unless you out there in the hood or out there where you know where it go down like that, you know? So with that being said, we need to do something about changing our justice system. You know, we definitely need it. I'm not saying we don't need the justice system. There's a lot of guys or women or human beings or so-called human beings that need to be in prison, man. We definitely need an institution. I'm not going to be here and tell you, be that guy to say, oh, we don't need no prison system and stuff like that. We do need them. But we don't need them for some of the shit that we locking a lot of guys up, man. Majority of the prison system is in there for like petty crimes, you know. And then you have the 15-25% that stick out for hardcore crimes like aggravated and murder, shit like that. That's very few of the population, prison population, you know. It's a lot of guys though, don't get me wrong, but as far as the percentage of the population that's in prison, it's not for murderers, you feel me, and rapists and shit like that. Those are the smaller numbers. And then you have the weirdos, stuff like that. But that's basically what I wanted to get at, man. I hope anybody watching this video, man, can have a heart and can relate and still understand. Even if you never had a family member that dealt with the prison system or never dealt with it yourself, I hope you understand and kind of can you know, realize that this is inhumanity. This is inhumanity of what's going on inside the prison systems, man. A guy mess up, he should be able to do his time or pay for his punishment and come out of either a better guy, a better person, or either the same. He shouldn't come out worse than what he motherfucking went in. And with that being said, I appreciate everybody, man. All the new subs on the channel. Thank y'all, man. Until next time, y'all, make sure you hit that like button, leave us a comment down below, or subscribe, baby, for future videos. Go check out my last video, man. We getting deep. Until next time, much love, much respect. It's your boy, Sai, signing off. Some of the people, you know, in my chats and comments, man, been here since day one. Shout out to Tamika, shout out to Ash and Emmy, shout out to Lane, shout out to Chill Wheel, shout out to Low Dog, shout out to motherfucking the whole community YouTube, man, straight up.